Welcome to Advanced Drinking and Dragons. This episode contains a special warning. This episode begins with the character Levi Williams reflecting bitterly on his past as a one-time slave hunter in the Confederate South. He describes the evils he committed in this role, and the language used includes a racially charged term that is drawn from his past. If you wish to skip this scene, I recommend skipping ahead to the 2-minute mark of this episode to safely avoid that. In addition, elements of real-world religion are used in this podcast to serve the purposes of a work of fiction. They are to drive the drama forward and are not intended to be taken as a statement of opinion by the players. Thank you for listening.
We're going to put on a show.
Yeah, so this is, so while you guys were all watching that, while you were watching corpses burn, having the time of your lives, while you guys were doing that, Levi was, in his prayers saying his oath, to his paladin tree, and it went as follows, by his lonesome. On this eve, warmed by the fire set upon those who died unjustly, I make these vows and swear my oath. I speak these words now because I am ready at last. I can vividly recall as a budding adolescent when I could still feel empathy. I would wince at another human's pain, share joys with friends, and fall in love with young women. As fate would have it, my profession in life led me to cause much suffering. For the sake of my family, my kin, and my neighbors, I collected the Negroes who dared to rebel and escape their owners. I tore children from mothers' arms before binding them, beat men into submission, and watched the hope dwindle from their eyes. I even fooled and betrayed groups of refugee former slaves and was burned by their hatred. It wasn't long before I wished that I could not feel anything at all, for it was too much to bear. As despair threatened to swallow me whole, my wish came true. The benefactors who funded my family's property retention efforts were impressed by my deeds and bestowed upon me a gift. In a strange foreign ritual, I was transformed and cleansed of emotion. All my limits were gone, and I was ready to resume my work in earnest. It was liberating to recognize evil as a mere tool to achieve my luxuries and desires. Truly, I confess I was grateful. If there was any virtue to be found in the creed of my new people, it was capture, not kill. Though we were free of any moral compass, we recognized the wanton killing for the waste that it was. Now as the scent of blazing corpses fills my nostrils, I can recall a time when I would have felt disgusted, saddened, and angered by what transpired here in Barnhill. Though only a flicker, these emotions return to me, and I am inspired like never before. I seek to do good, not for atonement, but because the ways of the wicked are the ways of the weak. The world does not need to be this way, and I do not need to acquiesce to its evil. Though my condition was brought through vile means, it is a blessing, for I may act with perfect clarity, unhindered by emotional doubts and misgivings. My patron, who was surely sent by the Lord, believes I can be redeemed, and by his grace I shall willingly tread where none of my kind have even considered. I will shed my old skin and never look back. And he stands. I pledge to promote peace, for violence is what the enemy seeks in his efforts to subvert God's creation. I am free from anger and disgust, and thus I am suited to the task of diplomacy. I have vowed to preserve and restore innocence, for it is only the world's darkness and the enemy's deceptive whispers which leads men and women astray. I am free from guilt, and thus will I remain irresolute when the enemy comes to taunt me with my past crimes and atrocities. I promise to have patience, for the ways I am practicing are not the ways of the world, and therefore I will suffer many defeats. I am free from despair, and thus will I allow time for seeds of change to take root and flourish. I swear to be wise in my decisions, for when the time comes to take a life, it must not be taken lightly. I am free from malice and fear, and thus will consider carefully when to mete out death. I commit myself to the path of redemption, for my eternal soul, for my allies, for my friends, my enemies, my neighbors, and even the ones who made me the man I am today. Our ways are ancient, but change must come. Through the Lord's mercy, perhaps even the serpent in the garden may once again find his place in paradise. And he stands. I am Levi Williams, and I rise before all the angel present tonight as a right and proper paladin.
The evening passes as Jed stays up to rake the coals. Everyone gets a chance to get a short rest so you're not gaining exhaustion levels. In the morning, Doc and Mary Tahi decide to ride off, or Tarhi.
Mm-hmm.
Doc and Mary Tarhi decide to ride off to the local indigenous population to see what has transpired here and try to get their information. The rest of you have decided to basically go the complete opposite direction. Split up your forces, try to cover as much ground as possible, and that means going the length of Wayne County westward towards what you've been told is Dog's Bend, which is basically the farthest out point in the county that your new friend Milton basically uses as his base camp when he's out here. He goes all the way out, lives there for a little while, comes all the way back. He actually rides a caravan between here and Hope's Landing, bringing basic general goods and supplies. He's got one of those wagons where you can unfold one of the walls and it rolls out into like a full shelving unit and that sort of thing. It's actually really well designed.
Neat.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just rolls out and there's shelves and everything, and he stocks it with like rope and farming supplies and like basic foodstuffs, jerky, trail rations, that sort of thing.
Bullets.
Coffee filters. Like stuff that's normal and also important if you're living out here by yourself with an inability to get anything other than like lumber and fish. In the morning, Doc and Mary ride away, leaving the four of you to your own devices and horses. Your horse devices.
Divorces.
Divorces a horse, of course, of course.
You're able to mount up and leave the smoldering wreck of the town of Barn Hill behind you.
Mm.
Well, certainly know we've been here.
It's my morning.
Or Karen of all.
Before they leave, Mary Tarhi will make up a pot of coffee.
Ooh. Yeah.
Essential.
Yeah. She doesn't fuck around. And then once you've had a chance to have your coffee and say your goodbyes, Doc gives you a good clap on the back, and the two of them ride away in the opposite direction, leaving you to wonder about your fate as you start riding westward with no guide.
Alright,
Through-
tip my hat to them.
Oh, I don't know if the rest of the party was there to see it. I think I did it away from the party, but I had given Doc an envelope.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody saw that or not.
I remember.
Yeah.
The DM.
The DM saw. The DM got to read the contents.
Yes.
DM remembers.
That's sort of the vision that you guys forgot that there was a kid. People forget that there's a kid nearby.
Yeah.
I think I kind of witnessed it.
It's kind of part of your whole deal.
Gideon's idiom.
Gideon.
Not Gideon.
Giddy up.
I like it. So yeah, you head away from the smoldering wreckage of the town of Barn Hill, riding west with no guide other than Mr. Milton Standish, who is here with you, who's made the trip many times. Although, he's done it with a big wagon and a two-horse team pulling the wagon. And his wagon, as you saw, was somewhat of an armored thing, and that he was able to bunker down inside of it while the wyvern was flying away with his horses.
Well, it's kind of semi-boned right now because the wyvern did kind of chew it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Do we have horses to pull the wagon sufficiently, or people riding with Milton? I forget how this setup worked.
So Doc had his own horse, Mary had her own horse, you have your own horse.
I got mine.
There are two work horses that belong to these two currently, and you had strapped those to the front end of the wagon to try and roll this thing along with you.
So you two were on the wagon with Mr. Milton?
Originally I was riding with Doc, but
Right.
I don't mind riding on the wagon now.
Yeah, I'll hop in the wagon.
Right. You get the horses saddled up.
Part of my morning routine, I am loading the shotgun with slugs instead of buckshot today.
Okay.
We don't have a rifleman anymore. So.
All right. Hop on board. Everybody who's riding a horse gets on their horse, and you head out to the west. You've been told it's like a 10-hour ride. It's a long way. That's assuming not stopping for basic essentials like food and water. So probably more like a 12 or 14-hour ride.
And I'm sure the road is shit.
There isn't a road. There's a horse path that goes for most of the trip, you've been told. Other than that, it's basically one of the reasons why the only guy going on this trip is Milton, is because he knows where to take a wagon where the wheels aren't going to crack and fall off and that sort of thing.
Or sink up to the axle in mud.
Also that, yeah, there's a lot of like minor river crossings. He has to bring you to certain places that are shallower to get you through those areas. This seems like an appropriate time for dice to hit the table. I want everybody to give me a little survival check, and along with it, give me something that you are trying to do to help with this sort of expedition
Oh,
to
man.
the brave west.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Wow, looks like some good rolls.
Mine's bad. Well, mine's not bad. Mine's mediocre.
I got a 14.
All right, what is it that Levi's doing to help out?
Can you come back to me?
I can.
Cool.
I'll start. Mine's not very good. Mine's a 10. And Jed's really mostly skilled working with animals, so I think he's trying to get the horses that are not used to having a wagon attached to their back. He was riding alongside him and, getting him to pull the wagon through the muddy spots.
Keep moving, horse.
But it's hard to do because you can't ride 3 horses abreast on these tiny horse trails. So he's, trying to do what he can, but with a 10, it's not
amazing.
contributing much.
Because I was kind of fond of Doc and kind of hung out with him a little bit when we were riding the horse, I'm trying to spot signs of things, like things come, broken branches, of things come from the woods, and just sort of keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. More for Indian attacks, but other things as well. But I figured maybe I picked up something after riding with him for so long.
How was your roll?
19.
Yeah, I would say you definitely did pick up a few things from him.
I got an 11. It's not great. But for having nothing for my survival, that's fine. And Temperance is just trying to sit up with Milton and sort of scan the road and see where there might be like a pothole or something like that.
Okay. Levi.
I'd say generally keeping spirits up, as his high charisma is wont to do. He might go over a few songs that he knows. He may just talk to people, ask them about themselves, and make small talk, and just generally be. It's a long journey, so he just is the guy who maintains a good morale and keeps people into it, so to speak. As for any survival aspect of it, he would probably just. He might have some tips on how to deal with venom, and maybe give some tips on which snakes carry what and which in the deadlier doses.
What was your roll?
Oh, I got a 14.
You said deal with venom and all. I was like, we're in Spider-Man now? Like,
Tom Hardy's
it took me
there.
a minute. I'm like, what?
He's
Oh,
scary
whoa,
If
snake
you
poison. Okay.
if you encounter a symbiote suit, do not panic.
You're just going to look really cool with your new black suit.
Yeah.
Just don't start singing, dancing to jazz music or whatever.
Whoa.
That's
horrible. We don't
No.
talk about Spider-Man 3 at the
That
table.
didn't happen. It was a dream.
Sorry. Wow.
I'm gonna hit you with my chair.
At least I'm going to deserve it. Alright. This one. No, give me the thing I said. Do it. Do it now. Do it. Do it.
Get to the chopper.
What's the name of the town we're headed towards right now?
Dog's
Bend.
balls. Oh, Dog's Bend.
A few hours into your journey, we'll say about 4 hours in, you have not seen any semblance of settled land in that time. No other towns, nothing but these barely worn through horse trails, crossing shallow parts of the river in a maddening way because you have to do all these bizarre, like looping around to find shallow parts, then going through parts of the forest that are wide enough for your wagon. And it just seems like the most convoluted, pain in the ass way to get from point A to point B that you can imagine. And at one point, you wind up riding up to a more open expanse that Milton targets when he rides out here, because it's actually got no tree cover. It's all just sort of rocky rises and slightly elevated bits of land that stick out maybe 4 or 5 feet. And so it's a bumpy ride, but it's actually on like grass. and you don't have to worry about riding into a tree or encountering a bear. There's just rolling open plains. And you see that you're now riding through this section of rocky areas. And who's taking point?
I can go in front either way. But if you're more perceptive than me, it should probably be.
Are you on foot though? Because we hitched up our.
No, he's got his own.
I got a horse.
We hitched up our horses to the wagon though. To pull
So we'd
the
probably
wagon.
be in the wagon.
Yeah.
Oh, so was everybody on the wagon but me?
It sounds that way.
Yeah.
Then I guess I'm on.
You're on point.
All right.
You want points, son.
My point's on point.
You start seeing that there are parts of the terrain that are sort of like disturbed, as though like burrowing animals have gone through them. You're starting to see holes, like this wide, where it looks like maybe some like gophers and
Moles
stuff
or
like that.
something.
But as you're riding along, you start to see they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually you see one that's got to be probably this wide. They'll like overturn that crumbly, sort of rocky-looking earth that's clearly a fresh hole. It's only recently been filled in, probably from the flash flooding of the past couple of days. And you see like a tumbleweed flowing up over part of the rise, and when it gets closer to you, you realize that it's not actually a tumbleweed. It's actually sort of like, you think of like owl pellets. It's mostly like the sort of stringy... It's basically like that. It looks like it's literally the rolling pile of feces of some type of animal. But it's about this wide. And one of the reasons that you recognize that it is what it is as it rolls up near you, it jingles slightly. And you can see there's actually a belt buckle inside of this rolling pile of what looks like an owl pellet.
Ooh.
Can I grab this thing?
Do you want to reach into the poop?
Yeah, I kind of do. That
Okay.
belt buckle's probably worth a couple of bucks.
But it's actually velvet.
What?
Owl pellets aren't poop. They're coughed up.
Whatever.
They're like hairballs.
You're like hairballs.
Their mouth poop.
Mouth poop.
Yes, I'm taking apart the mouth poop with my bare hands.
You separate the mouth poop and retrieve from
Is
it.
that the name of this episode? No.
I'm glad that caught on.
You separate it with your hands, and you are able to pull out of its fibers, with a little bit of work, a belt buckle. It looks like it's sort of a yellowy metal. It's not actually gold. You think it's probably like
Brass.
painted or brass or whatever, but yeah, belt buckle.
Anything else of value in this pile of mouth poop?
I mean, there's some stuff that looks like it doesn't digest well, like leather and stuff like that. Maybe the rest of the belt.
Alright, is the rest of the party near enough that they see this going on? Or
Yeah, you're only maybe 10 feet in front of the wagon at this point.
so you see me stop this like tumbleweed thing and open it up, and I just, without speaking, I just hold up this belt buckle so everybody can see it.
Ooh.
Well, there's treasure everywhere, isn't there?
You got brass and bird poop? You
Quiet.
got leather? You are going to use it?
This thing is like more than a foot wide.
So now my new mission, aside from, well, I don't have to worry about watching out for this thing, I can't be surprised, is pointing out the gopher holes in the road so that we don't have a horse break a leg. That seems like the most immediate danger here.
It does seem like what you're seeing, there's some that are here and there on the road. Those are generally the smaller ones. The larger holes you see are actually set a little further away from the path that you are on. And they tend to be more closely underneath like the part where like when the area goes up and there's the bit at the bottom of the steeper side. It looks like they're mostly in that kind of a region where almost like it'd be the easiest place to go down through. But the way that the rocks have fallen and everything looks like it probably came up and out.
Well, I've got the shotgun out just in case, and just pointing out potential hazards for our horses.
Alright.
Those are the biggest darn prairie dogs I've ever seen. They gotta be huge.
Gideon, you hush now. Whatever was eating belts out here, I don't want it eating mine.
As you make your way through the horse paths, Milton's making conversation with Levi, just talking about the trail and the things he does and the things he sells and the weird people out here that he's met. He's met a lot of weird people. You gotta be pretty weird to live out here in the first place, so most of what he's met are either like people who cut lumber for a living and this is just the easiest place to do it, or people who are downright nutters.
And so he's describing a little bit of both, because people who are out here cutting lumber get a little crazy because they're so separated and isolated from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for everybody. And one thing he mentions as you're riding along is that particularly out in Dog's Bend, it's so close to just completely wild territory that sometimes people just completely go nutters and just walk away from the town off into the distance and they never see him again. And they have all sorts of like local legends about monsters and creatures and stuff like that. But he doesn't put any stock in it. He thinks it's just crazy people who want to be isolated, and eventually it catches up to them and they wander off on their own.
If you're looking for an NPC, my backup character comes from a setting exactly like that. So it's likely he comes from right here.
You may find out what the setting is like when you get there.
Yes. Like that'll ever happen.
Oh, smashing.
What's homeboy's last name?
Standish.
Homeboy standard.
Yes, it's boy. Home, boy.
Ah, I see.
Homish,
Now,
boyus.
now, Mr. Standish, have you in all your time going out to Barn Hill seen things like this? And I point at the, like, mole hills that are, big as a table.
He looks around and he says, I mean, prairie dogs, but those would be some big prairie dogs. And he looks at Gideon.
You ever seen a prairie dog that big, Mr. Standish?
No, you ever seen a prairie dog this big?
And you still don't put any faith in what those people over in Dog's Bend are saying?
This is, people wander out to the west. These paths were on paths, and he pats the wagon.
Paths?
Paths!
Ah. Well, Mr. Standish, I think it's time you widened your mind a little bit.
He sort of looks down at the floor of the wagon and he says, I've made this trip many times.
But you ain't seen no prairie dog that's big as a bear, have you?
Have you? And he starts to look terrified.
Mr. Standish, I have seen many weird things. Many strange and unusual things, and they are usually attached to men. But no. I ain't never seen no prairie dog as big as a bear, but I'm beginning to think there might be some.
Levi's just remaining quiet
Okay.
and on watch.
It's weirdly quiet. When you try and shush everybody down, all you can hear is the creaking of the wheels and the horses grunting. You start rolling up on a small rise, and then it starts to descend down. And down at the bottom of the trail, you see that there is a horse, or what's left of a horse. It actually looks like basically the entire piece of where the saddle was is completely gone. And the horse is just laying dead in the road.
So whatever ate it specifically bit the rider off?
Well, when you get there, you see there's like a horseshoe-shaped piece of horse missing. You also see that the horse has had parts of its frontage nibbled on. But what you see that's most interesting requires a medicine check.
Well, we saw that horse shank in the road the other day, didn't we? It was on back a ways. That was in my notes from last.
From the wyvern attack.
Myron.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah.
Think there's another one then, Big B. I don't want to be finding another one of those things. It was horrible.
Untrained medicine.
You can. Everybody can.
Sweet.
And should.
And don't.
Nope, not one.
Crit!
11.
Somebody's going to crit every roll. And it happened last session, I swear to God.
What you see look like chemical burns. It doesn't look like it was just chewed on. It certainly has parts that were chewed on. But particularly the horseshoe-shaped missing piece looks like there is an awful lot of chemical burn on this horse.
Does it look like it was something that was just poured on the horse, or does it look like something accompanied the sort of bite?
It looks like somebody sprayed a horse with a fire hose full of acid.
Jeez.
Oh my God, it's dead!
Well done.
Sorry.
Duck him, please.
Someone sprayed this horse with a fire hose full of acid. That horse is high as balls.
The horse is just looking at its hands.
I feel like I'm
Oh my God, it has hands!
So,
The horse thinks it's a glass of orange juice.
well, that's very interesting. That doesn't explain the giant ball of spit and belt that you found.
I think we need to keep moving. This is not good.
One might even call it bad. Yes, we should get going.
It's unpleasant.
He won't say the catchphrase.
Keep working on those catchphrases, Gideon. You'll get it someday.
This is less than optimal.
This is only so-so.
It's mediocre.
At best.
It's
He
muy
gets an
malo.
E for effort.
E for everyone. Yay, it's in the game.
Stop using up my synonyms. You're not helping.
It's bad.
Is there anything else in the scene that catches our eye?
You could give me some type of appropriate check.
Investigation. You got it, Buster.
Yeah, that sounds good.
No.
Right.
Can I make an investigation? I'm trained in such things.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, no. You know what? I'm going to impose a penalty on myself. I rolled a 1 on my medicine check. Jed's checked out of this.
Yeah.
He's busy looking for bad guys.
Can I make a history check and see if there's anything,
You
Any
can make
sort
a
of-
roll, but it's going to require a banging amount.
any sort of like fable or something like that I might have read as a kid?
We'll find out soon.
That's a 21.
Actually, you have.
Just leave all the rolling to her for the day. Well, I'm sorry.
I'm getting all my good rolls out of the way now.
She hasn't rolled anything for the last 3 sessions, so this is only fair.
Oh, all of a sudden she's a swashbuckler and she just leaves the whole
Yeah,
party
right.
behind. I'm off to buckle some swashes. Have fun, losers.
Give me that buckle back. You actually have heard some stories. This is a creature that preys upon cattle fields. It's a difficult challenge and sort of a conundrum for farmers way out further west than you are, like closer to the coast.
Mm-hmm.
But the basic gist of the idea is that much like earthworms turn the earth and make it more fertile for plants, the creature that you are familiar with tills the earth and causes grass to grow and things like that. But it's also maybe 6 to 12 feet in length, and it tends to eat cows.
It's tremors.
Is anybody now or have ever been a cow?
No, but I'm worried because I'm Kevin Bacon.
So farmers have trouble with this because it does actually improve the quality of their land, but it occasionally eats their livestock and occasionally eats their family.
Eat your family.
Should have thought of that before you had such a delicious family.
Stop basting your family in butter. God!
It's the Midwest. I mean, it's all they know.
Yeah.
Snake bit you? Butter.
Y'all,
And chopping the leg with an axe.
we if we don't get out of here fast, we might be on foot, and then then maybe nothing at all.
No,
Is it fresh? This horse corpse?
It hasn't had much time to turn or rot.
Maybe it's just fed. Maybe we're alright. Maybe just keep moving. I think we should move quietly though, so we don't scare it.
Yeah, we'll move real quietly with the wagon.
Yeah.
boy's right.
That's
Let's
alright.
stop talking. Ride as fast as we can without drawing attention to ourselves. No reason to linger.
Unless we want to take this opportunity to vanquish the beast.
I don't know.
So it troubles this place no more.
I already got killed by something yesterday. I don't want to get killed again by something.
We don't know how many there are.
It's good to see you got better, Gideon.
You died, but it got better.
I'm already out here to start a fight. I don't need to be starting a second.
Well, this creature sounds like just the kind of thing I'm prepared to face.
Well, Mr. Williams, we can always leave you out here, and we'll head on to Dog's Bend, and you can fight the giant worm.
I am flattered that you acknowledge my valiance in such a way, but my efforts do require the help of a certain supporting cast.
If it seeks to make a dinner out of us, we will fight alongside you, but I don't see the wisdom in going out of our way to fight this beast.
Alright then.
Okay. Sounds like we're trying to avoid it by means of stealth?
Such as it is?
Such as it is, with a loud wagon. And
Do we want to
The way I
go
see
on foot and sort of make the wagon a little bit lighter so it's...
No, because at least you have the wagon between Jaws and you.
I think we should proceed as normal, and if it comes to us, I'll be at the ready to face it.
I'm going to turn on my mage armor.
Alright, Mr. Williams. I'm bowing to your wisdom on this. Let's swap seats. You take my horse, I'll ride in the wagon. Worst comes to worst, you'll be toe-to-toe with the beast, and I can shoot from the top of the wagon.
As long as you have an eye, as well. Is this thing stealthy, Temperance?
Well, it is underground. It's not like you can see it coming.
Alright then.
I'll relinquish my saddle to Levi.
Okay. Levi mounts up.
And I'm literally standing on top of the wagon top.
Okay. It's like sloped, so you probably have to like squat down a little
That's
bit.
fine.
Yeah.
But so I can get the best view of the area plus shoot down front.
Everybody give me a stealth roll.
Disadvantage.
Nice!
Alright, so I got 11.
21.
10. Ooh, that's a bad set.
I crit.
On the wagon, though. Of course, the wagon probably is just the thing that's going to be heard.
Jed,
Yo.
what is the AC of your horse?
I have no idea.
Probably like 11.
Yeah.
It's in the
Like,
player's
they're
book.
kind of fast, and then no armor.
I think it's actually in the back of the player's book. It's got horses.
That is
You're in
a
the back
giant
of the book.
foreskin.
And yeah, it is. I assume it's a riding horse, not a war horse.
Yeah.
10!
It's a shitty old horse.
AC 10.
10.
Oh, good.
Oh, Rip Cyril.
I have a brother named Cyril.
How much damage does a horse take?
I have a horse named your brother.
13.
All right, Horace, let's see what you got.
Nothing good.
Horus the horse.
And he doesn't need advantage, but he has it. Okay. That is a strike. Oh, I got rolled bad damage, though.
Strike!
So somebody keep track of the horse's hit points.
No, that sounds like my job.
5 points from a bite.
Oof, 5.
5 points of acid.
Okay.
Still up.
Is it still alive?
They have 13 hit points.
Okay. Your horse is grappled. The escape DC is 13. So, as Levi is riding along in front of you, you actually see a large pair of chitinous jaws erupt out from the terrain and grasp onto the midsection of your horse and just clamp down on the ribs. The horse
And there it is.
yelps out in pain. I remove this map from the table and instead replace it with dungeon tiles. Tiles I have not used in quite some time.
Oh, those tiles.
Yes. Representing the rocky terrain.
Sweet. Initiative?
S'il vous plaît.
13!
16.
Grab this.
Nope. What's a 10? What do you want to...
There we
A hot pink
go. Potentially
worm.
this. Fuck that water. Alright.
Yeah, I got plenty.
You've seen plenty of hot pink worms in your
Thanks,
time,
Paul.
haven't you,
I
Temper?
brought 3 of each this time.
Not as big as this one. Not big.
Not big, but...
You know, I was trying to think of a... Since you knew about the acid and the chemical stuff, I was trying to think of a joke about how Temperance is familiar with all sorts of discharge.
Ah!
But
But you would have gotten that reaction?
it didn't come
Especially
at
the
the time.
kind of...
Ah! Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Hey, thank you everybody and good night. Remember to tip your waitstaff, try the veal. Alright,
And that's me.
yeah, you are currently on top of the monster which is eating the horse. I need
Yeah.
initiative rolls. Who's got theirs?
16.
16 for Jedediah.
I got to 13, lad.
13 for Levi.
11.
11 for Temperance.
I got 11 as well.
Oh,
Who wants to go first of the two of you?
She goes first.
Go first.
And see the other one. All right.
Going before Levi. What's this shit?
There's a bunch of fucking baloney.
Was that a surprise round, by the way?
It was just the way the combat begins.
Okay.
All right. The initiative has begun. This music
Let's
is not.
begin.
This is not fighty enough for me. I need fightier. We're
We need
going
to
with
wrestle worms.
the classic.
May
There we
I get from you my templates? I want to see if I'm within range. If
Yeah.
you don't have it, don't worry about it.
I have no idea where it is. It might well be over there.
That's fine. I'll count.
I think you got it covered.
I don't think I do, actually.
No, I think you've got the ability to count.
Oh. 20, 25, 30.
You never know.
Alright. I'm going first, I assume, right?
Yes.
Alright. I am going to move towards this beast. Actually,
It's above ground right now, technically, right?
So it's actually about halfway out of the ground, so it's about 4 feet out from the bottom. It's actually, if you can imagine the horse standing about 6 feet high, its jaws are clamped around the ribs, so about 4 feet out of the
Oh, that
ground.
is so unhealthy.
And it looks, as you see in the picture here, it's actually got long, segmented limbs with hooked talons on the end.
alright. I'm going to move to there, and then I am going to shoot with my shotgun.
It's
I forgot to roll my portents.
Yes, it's Ank.
Still was back for a second.
Whoa!
Ooh.
One of those is a banger!
Snazzy. Ah!
Nice.
Oh, can I have some portent?
I
Nice.
have to do it before you.
Before
I have
you
to
roll.
say it before you do it.
Alright, so I miss. Waste of a fucking round.
A bubble.
And then I am going to climb up on top of this rock with the rest of my movement.
I would require an athletics check.
I will check my athletics.
Are you an athlete?
12?
That's good enough. Yeah. It's not like... I know they're depicted as sandy rocks in here. It just happens to be the same color palette as
Yeah.
that.
So that explains the wild shot. As this was a shot on the move as I jump off the wagon, shoot over my shoulder.
You're like, what the
climb over
fuck
rock.
is that?
Holy shit!
Trying not to shoot your horse.
Yes.
Alright, then the monster goes. The monster gets advantage on attacks that are on a target that's currently grappled by it.
Rip horse.
Sucks. I was going to cast Sanctuary on it.
So here's the bite that's going to crit the horse.
Yay.
Press F to pay respects. F.
Alright, 16. Does 19 piercing damage on the horse.
I'm going to rebuke the violent as a reaction.
Okay, what does that do?
That makes a wisdom save.
Okay.
If it fails, it takes that damage.
I have an 18 plus...
Yay.
It's worth a shot, right?
It still takes damage.
Okay, the horse also takes 9 acid damage.
So I guess it's up to you. So it'd be the total. It's all one attack, so it'd be the total.
It'd be the total, yep.
So that's 28. It takes 14 radiant.
It's a big fucking hit.
Ouch.
Yeah.
What does that look like? What's the visual?
Yeah. So Levi, frustrated that he can't get his sanctuary spell off on the horse in time. I'm assuming this thing is just eating through the horse. At this point.
It's dissolving rib tissue at this point. Like this horse is cooking.
So with a stern flash of the eyes, that his eyes go white for a moment, and suddenly where this thing's where its acid sac is, it just kind of, and it's expelling the acid from its maw. It begins to actually burn brightly on the creature itself. An unexpected turn of events, just as it did to the horse.
Yeah, this thing lit up this horse in a rude way. That is its turn. At this time, I'm going to roll initiative for something else. Don't worry about that.
Forget about it.
All right, noted. Levi, you are currently riding half of a horse.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get off.
See you in a
Wow!
Then I dismount the horse.
Still not right.
I love this game. It's my favorite bad idea.
Oh, dead horse. Ah.
Acid burns!
Oh my!
Ugh. Y'all are gross.
Oh my lord!
All right, well,
We were writhing bodies everywhere, and then there was an explosion! Oh!
Let's
Sorry.
rub my nipples with industrial strength sandpaper while I humiliate the pheasant.
That is the best way to get and keep a boner.
that one got me. That was great.
What?
What's the coolest thing I can do right now?
Drugs.
Get off on a horse.
Killing me. Okay. All right. This thing can obviously burrow.
Yes.
No.
Cool.
Good fly.
It was buried alive and finally escaped. It accidentally bit a horse on the way out.
It's actually the real hero of the campaign. We're just wandering monsters.
All right. In order to keep it where it is, so it can't get away, I'm going to attempt command.
Okay.
It's now above ground, right?
Yeah, half of it is above ground.
Cool. Let's go like this. Got shield, rapier and shield, or saber and shield up. Halt.
And is it a wisdom save?
Yes.
3.
All right. It on its turn, it does nothing but stops.
Got it.
It doesn't even attack.
Sounds good. I got you. Anything else for you?
And just the target doesn't move and takes no actions.
Copy that. So it can still take opportunity attacks from people.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
It can take reactions.
Cool. All right. Anything else for Levi?
That's it. That was my action to do that.
Miss Kitty.
Hey now, hey.
Hi, girl.
I hop down off the wagon, and can I get up onto this rock?
With an athletics check, you may.
Can I do acrobatics instead?
No, because it is climbing. That's pretty good.
Yay! It's a 16.
I love how we have all seen Tremors. We're gonna get up on the rocks. We're not stupid.
We're gonna leave the kid on the wagon.
Bait.
I'm gonna take a shot at this thing while it's not moving.
Okay. That'll hit it.
And that is 7 points of damage.
Actually, after she's done, I want to retcon a bit because I'd like to change my action because I can't use this on it.
Oh, shit. Alright, you're gonna deal damage. I'm gonna retcon it and go back to you. What do you have?
No, instead I'll just bonus action, Shield of Faith, and attack.
Okay.
So I hit.
That hits, yeah.
Why, out of curiosity, why can't you?
It can't understand me. So 5 piercing.
Thank you for your honesty. I totally would have missed it.
Of course.
It is... I'm gonna bring it back. It's bloody.
Ooh.
Bring it back.
It never left, really, let's be honest.
No, it was always in my heart.
And I used it constantly throughout
It
Storm
literally
so.
pumps blood, so it's bloody.
Your heart is bloody, you should see a doctor.
No, it's how hearts are supposed to work.
What's supposed to be?
Child.
Burden.
Oh.
Come on, load.
You said it about yourself in that session.
It's fair. All the adults have left me.
Here with the tasty horses.
I'm gonna grab the reins, and I'm gonna try to back the wagon up.
Okay, animal handling, see good play.
I really thought you were just going to charge.
You're gonna kill Levi.
12.
You're having some trouble. These horses are panicked. Now, they're trying to book it in different directions.
Okay.
Currently, you're not having any success tugging them in a certain way.
Can Homeboy help him?
Homeboy is terrified. He's not a combatant.
Stupid Homeboy.
Yeah.
Away boy is more like it.
I should have.
His strategy when beasts attack his pack animals is to hide in his wagon until people show up on the road to help him get to where he's going.
Do you believe in monsters, Mrs. Standish?
No
Oh
wonder,
boy.
no wonder this wagon smells like pee.
That's no prairie dog!
It's a prairie man.
It's a prairie oyster.
It's a prairie dog.
Yeah. Jedediah.
Well, I've got one more slug lined up in this shotgun. See if my rolls get better. That's better. That is a 22.
That strikes him.
Excellent. That's what I was aiming for. Was him.
Yeah, I would hope so. Because otherwise you miss.
I hit Levi.
Cool.
for 12 points of damage.
Woo! It's a big hit.
Woo doggy. And then, normally I would drop... Well, I guess that's all I can do. I drop the shotgun even, and it's going to skitter down the rocks onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And pull out the revolver and prepare for my next turn.
Okay. On this turn.
I may want to portend what you may want to be doing.
Okay.
There's another one. Look out!
It pulls itself out of the
If there's another
burrow,
one.
clambers up over the ground. It burps acid.
But
It doesn't actually roll for this.
no.
But Jedediah and Levi should make for me dexterity saving throws.
Is this considered poison?
No, actually, it's considered acid.
Lame. Dex checks, you said?
Yes, dex saving
Saving
throws.
throws. Ooh, not good.
Nah, not enough.
7.
6.
The two of you who just got sprayed in the face with acid.
How much?
13 points.
Ow!
Neat.
That's stupid, yo.
Fucking terrible, right? And then this creature burrows underground. Goes 10 feet underground.
Opportunity attack.
You can take it in the face.
I definitely hit.
What do you get?
Super big time mega 22.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not out of hero points yet.
And I'll smite.
Okay.
Yes, you will.
Yay!
Probably a good choice.
Yep.
Bravo. Well done. Good show, LP.
I'm going to put this over here for no reason at all.
That's what I want.
Don't worry about that.
Fair enough.
So we got 8 piercing to begin with, plus 2 more. Plus 8 more radiant.
So 16 total?
Yes.
It burrows, and you can actually crack the carapace as it's going underground. Stuff is coming out of this bug.
Bug stuff.
This one over here emerges from the ground and sprays hot acid on Gideon and Jedediah. Dexterity saving throws.
Oh, and this is not an attack, so I can't use my portent, you fucker.
You can use the portent for your own saving throw.
Yeah. I don't know. Should I do that? Yeah, I'm going to use that for my own.
Okay.
So it'd be
10.
it'd be a 19 for me.
Okay. The 19 is success. And... Ugh. 14 for you.
I'm down to 1 hit point.
And 7 for Gideon.
Oh.
And some residual sprays all over the wagon. A bunch of the goods are ruined. There's like a rope hanging up on the inside of the wagon that just disintegrates, and like clumps of rope are falling off the bottom. The horses are freaking the fuck out and going everywhere. And this rock that you're standing on is starting to smell like burnt hair. This creature doesn't yet know that its mate is dead. So there's that.
I killed it.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
That's why it's over here now.
Well, I thought it was over there because it burrowed.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, when you crack the carapace, you can actually, like, feel that it's
The
no longer...
force.
The resistance is gone, and there's just goo all over the place at this point. Slightly acidic goo. Next up is Levi. You are covered in acidic goo.
So
Put your shit in?
is this whole thing a rock?
Just the part that looks like a rock.
Okay.
The triangles indicate difficult terrain. It costs double movement to get on the triangles.
Okay. Alright, in that case, go like so.
Hide inside the niche of the rock there.
Yeah, if that's an option.
It sure is, yeah, absolutely. You can hide down there. That rock is, like, higher than shoulder height, so you are A-okay. Anything else for Mr. Levi?
I will lay on hands myself for 10. And then...
I'll behave.
Actually, you know what? I got my bonus action here. I'll save it for now.
Okay.
Calm down.
It's important that we take this thing down, so I will blow one of my new darts at it.
Move a little bit closer.
So
Yeah, sneak around underneath the rock and puts this on, and...
I inspire myself.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Fuck, how
You're
bad
not
is it?
inspiring.
Like not
Not even
enough.
close? Not worth doing the math?
I used my last inspiration for it. A double fuck!
Fuck.
You double fuck.
Well,
Okay.
since you're using Paul's dice.
It wasn't meant to be.
Oh, yeah, don't touch Paul's dice. That's
Yeah,
a problem.
I left mine in the car.
Oh.
If I recall right, your own dice don't do you very well.
The red one I got from Dave is behind you if you want to start using that one.
It's too late for me.
That's morbid.
And then, and then I will cast. Is Gideon within view here?
Yes.
Alright, I will cast Sanctuary on him.
Oh,
That's a good call. Alright, this
I
Temperance.
feel the warm embrace of Levi and it skews me out.
He's a good guy, he just has no morals.
Never get into a sanctuary with strangers.
Damnation.
Gonna stab a bug.
So that's a 21?
That's huge. You guys only ever roll single digits or more than 20.
Pretty much.
And I put a cap in its ass with my sneak attack.
Okay. By a cap, I mean a knife, but yes!
My shield of faith is gone, forgot to roll for that.
Oh, Jesus.
11. No,
8,
14.
11, and then Dex is
14.
14. It's a huge hit. Yeah, you see Temperance leap off the rock and jab a knife up underneath this thing's carapace and starts hitting gooey underbelly. And that's when you start to realize...
Gun.
Oh, you're using the gun.
Yeah.
You are at point
Stabbing
blank
with the
range.
gun in the underbelly.
That's bayonets!
Alright,
Not how this works.
When you were on top of it like this, using a gun would give you disadvantage.
Okay, control's even.
I assumed you went knife.
Knife.
Which is... Oh, because it's a D4
D4.
instead of a D6. Gotcha. Oh, you get punished for that.
Wow.
So 8
8.
points. Still a huge hit, though.
And then I will disengage.
Alright.
Back up the rock?
Yeah.
Athletics check to get back up the rock. Nope.
I inspire myself.
Oh damn, it's very important that you go on that rock.
I learned this from Levi.
Inspiration doesn't work today.
Badge me, by the way, Levi.
Perspiration.
What? Oh yeah.
You use your inspiration.
Turn in your badge.
Inspiration.
They took away my badge status. Alright, child.
So are you going to yell at me that I should not attack the creature? Because I don't really
Oh
know
yeah,
what
I should say that. Get to safety, Gideon. You're protected. Do not engage.
Yah! And I yah the panicking horses forward.
Alright, you can roll animal handling again, this time with advantage, because you've been working on it for a while.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh.
Our dice are broken. What happened?
Now, Paul's dice are...
I rolled a 5.
Paul's dice are garbage.
Twice.
It's just
I,
reality.
hey.
If it's any consolation, these also roll butt, but I have to roll these.
Yeah, I know we like those.
So I roll
Fuck,
more
so...
Why not use one of your divine
Well,
things?
what am I, what?
Can you use one of your divine
I
things?
should have,
You
too
have to
late.
announce
I
it.
probably would have missed anyway. I have to do that first. I still have movement.
You do.
So I'm saying, damn it, horses! And then I just fucking jump over the rock.
Alright, that's going to be athletics.
God!
Wow.
Just murder me. Just
How bad is it?
It's 5.
When you make it to the rock, you
Yeah,
just
you want to
Yeah.
be down here.
You're on the other side of the wagon, at least.
Actually, you'd be like right here.
I would say he doesn't close the distance, so he falls prone next to the wagon.
Delightful.
You look like worm food to me.
Damn it.
It smells like worm food, too. Alright, Kaylee.
Yes.
On the very bottom shelf of this cabinet, there are some tiny men. I need 4 of them.
everyone needs a tiny man in their lives.
You're gonna drag me to my doom.
Well, the babies need something to eat.
Oh, the little guys.
The little babies! The babies!
Oh
Thank you. Alright, Jedediah, you get to act before the babies eat your friend Gideon.
I am still sanctuary.
That is true.
Yeah, that's gonna.
It's not going to stop them from trying.
Yeah, they don't know that.
Okay, this is my action. This is my turn.
It's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna start it off with second wind since I have 1 hit point.
This is your life.
It could be.
Now I have 9 hit points, which is significantly better.
9
It's
times
9
better.
times better.
Beat to it.
The opening harmonica of that something midnight special. Every time that harmonica goes, I
Right.
think it's the midnight special.
And I can't see that thing from here, can I?
Nope.
Still get up there. Yeah, fuck it, I'm a fighter.
There's
5,
a song from Fallout 76
10,
called Pest Control. that might
15,
fit
That's
your-
pretty awesome.
fit your needs
25. Shooting that guy with a revolver.
Alright.
Because fuck this bug. Bug
Fuck
fucker.
this
That
bug
was
fucker.
it's a bonus action the second one. That's right.
It is. Crit.
Wow.
Woo!
You fuck a bug.
Like a legit crit, not an improved fighter crit.
Legitical.
Ew.
Legitical damage.
You do see, by the way, when Temperance drives that knife up in there, the carapace is armored on the backside, but on the belly it's actually softer.
Ooh.
And so your bullet goes right through the belly of this creature.
Well, I shoot it for 8 points of damage.
That was your crit?
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah. I rolled a 2 and a 3. Action surge.
Yep.
Do it again.
Crit again. Instantly.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I don't. That is a 15, though.
That does hit. This time it blasts apart part of the outer green carapace of the creature.
4 points of damage.
Okay.
Bullets are doing nothing.
Shoot out its gas bladders.
It's like goggles. They do nothing.
Additional pylons. That's my whole turn.
All right, baby.
Actually, action surge. I get an action, right? I don't get a whole
You get an
turn.
action.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You get the attack action.
Babies.
You ain't level 5 yet, son.
Sanctuary gives me what, disadvantage when I attack?
No, they must make a wisdom
Must make a
save.
wisdom save.
All right.
Or either lose their attack or choose a new target.
And,
Babies are good at wisdom.
I'm going to give one of them my...
They're the wisest
so one of
creatures.
them rolls a 10.
Got it. 10 minus 1 does not make the save. DC is what,
DC
13?
is 13.
Yeah. One of them makes it, the other two fail. They're confused why they don't want to bite you. But you are prone, and so the one that does bite you does so awesomely. With a crit.
Fuck.
A crit fuck.
A crit fuck. The fuckiest of the fucks.
A critical fuck.
Might not be as bad as you oh god.
Oh lord.
Alright, so it's 7 piercing damage. And 4 acid damage.
Dead.
Down to 0?
Count them. Yeah, 0.
Alright, babies start chewing on Gideon.
Well, you still have Sanctuary. So there. They might not kill you that easily.
A big bug sees a Temperance. Temperance, you look delicious to a giant bug.
And it's really most men.
12 plus 5 is 17.
That will hit.
We're looking at 12 points.
Okay.
Piercing. And then the acid takes you for 4.
Cool. That hurts.
I bet it does. Levi.
Alright. You guys seem to have a baby problem, so,
I fucking hate babies.
lay on hands myself for 15.
Alright.
So that,
Oh god. Oh, my heart weeps.
or, sorry, for 13.
13 points. You got it.
Because that's my maximum.
Alright.
And then I'm there. I just move closer.
Sounds good.
You
You're all
want me to
set?
move you?
No, I'm there. That's as far as I move.
Alright.
Temperance. There's a bug in your roll.
I don't like it. 18?
Strike.
Yes.
Oh, wait, did we hear the babies come in?
Yeah, I mean, they're chewing on Gideon. Gideon probably screamed.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'd be running over there.
Alright, then this giant worm monster can have another sneak attack. Sneaky, sneaky. Ooh.
It's good to
Cool,
be a
God.
swashbuckler.
Yeah.
That is... No. 14.
Alright. This bug is bloodied and looks rough. She keeps jamming a fucking knife up inside of this bug.
Prison shivving it.
Right in its bug cavity.
Temperance is actually Papito.
No, you've been practicing this move for a long time.
I disengage backwards.
Do you want to try to get back up? Or?
Actually, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Always try to get back up.
Why do we
No.
fall down, Master Bruce?
No.
So
No.
we can fall down on you.
7 plus nothing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get up the rock.
Actually, 7 minus 1.
That's terrible. Yeah, you don't get up the rock at all. It's fucking awful.
Dang, that
You can't even smell what the rock is cooking.
Temperance is trying to get up this rock, and she's got like the ankle-length skirt. And
Gideon, make your death saving throw.
You really want to kill me today, don't you?
Yes, kill the child.
Oh no!
Does anybody have inspiration?
No.
Well, shit, that's 2 failures.
You don't have inspiration? No, nobody does.
I never get it. It's Ben's game. I never get inspiration.
Alright, well, that's 2 so far. I got this,
I get
guys.
inspiration every time you bust out the medical book. That's the secret.
I'm sorry to say that. I don't think Jet could even perceive what's going on over there between the horses panicking
Look, man,
and the bug.
If you can survive the baby attack with your sanctuary on, then we'll make it through this. I got you.
Alright, I'm shooting this bug. Bug shooting. 2. Never mind. I'm doing nothing.
Well, good game, guys.
Yeah.
This is it. This is how we die.
Yeah. To a random encounter with
Still have to make
bugs.
their wisdom saves. But one's going to make the save, and one's going to just the odds.
Go for it. DC's 13. What, they all make it?
2 of them did.
Okay.
I didn't roll the 4th one yet. 2 of them digest Gideon.
Oh.
Well, they haven't rolled yet, have they? That was just their wisdom saves.
He's already had 2 death saving throws.
They have to roll to hit.
That's true.
With advantage.
That's true.
But they have to roll to hit.
Alright, the first one. Crits.
Alright, cool.
Oh, that's delightful.
Sorry, dude.
It's alright. Happens.
Once again, you killed Paul's character.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul, I'm so sorry, dude.
It's alright, man.
Alright, that was... Oh, and the big guy continues to work on Temperance. Because Temperance has been kicking the shit out of this bug. 14?
That is my AC.
I think you're going to 0 hit points.
It's more likely than you think.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
And also 6 points of acid, but that doesn't count as a death saving throw. It's all the same thing.
Jesus Christ, guys, stop dying.
No shit, right?
Levi?
Can you get right up to her? She's down.
Yeah, you can get up to her.
1 hit point.
Woo!
Lay on hands.
Ow!
Alright.
And I'm next to this douche.
You are next to a douche.
Yep. I'm at full hit points again, that's fine.
Acid douche.
It squirts acid all everywhere.
Yep. The worst kind of douche.
Yeah.
Alright. Temperance.
Yes.
Death saving, or not death saving, are you alive?
You're up.
Yep.
Stand up.
Eat.
Yeet.
And I'm gonna just scoot.
I
This way.
imagine it was Levi helping you out with glowing hands.
Nope.
What's the total?
It's a 14?
Actually does hit.
Oh, cool.
Sneak attack.
Turk.
The babies, when the mothers are destroyed, are going to disperse.